Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome again to our Go Live session for tonight. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this live or replay from. This is Arian again, coming to you live from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. It's January 24, 2025, and it's around 6 p.m. here. Again, I'm alone at home because the kids are in their Taekwondo training, and I'm just wearing my pambahay shirt because I really wanted to feel like comfy this Friday night. Like, happy weekend, happy Friday to everyone. I hope you had a great day today. And yeah, so this if this is again the first time that you're seeing me, I'm Aryan and I'm a Filipina immigrant here living in Windsor together with my husband and two young kids. I have a 7-year-old and a teenager. And back in the Philippines, I was an ERP programmer, a software engineer for 12 years. And then we came here in Canada in 2022. I started as a student, juggled multiple survival jobs. I became a cleaner and got hired eventually as a concierge move-in coordinator. And then after my program, I got an IT analyst job. And then that's when I found this online business because I knew that I can do more, have more, be more in this online business. And so I'm a proud digital business owner and I help ambitious, hardworking career parents make money online so that they can have or spend more quality time with their families and kids. So, yeah, so again, welcome to our Go Live for tonight. So, I know that I have discussed my story for the past few days, and uh, right now and in the coming like days ahead, just a couple of days more, I'm going to continue doing that before we hop into another like topic or series in the next few weeks. But yeah, so tonight I am going to discuss here the life before the shift. Also, actually, before that, I just wanted to tell you that I'm really glad for today because I'm really glad about today, about this morning, because we already have our family doctor. So finally, we got a family doctor because before, when we were back in GTA, when we were still living in Etobicoke, we didn't get one because it's so hard. And you know what they all say, we still need more doctors and nurses and healthcare workers here in Canada, and that's true. So, so good thing we actually have found this clinic, this doctor who's still looking for new patients, accepting new patients, and the recommendation came from our massage therapist. So we're really very glad that we were able to get in and got accepted there, just this morning because we had our physical checkup, our physical first physical checkup here in Canada, Tampi and I, so my husband and I. And it was such a good feeling because it also adds up to the security, right? To the security of the family, that you have a family doctor that, when whatever happens, especially with the kids, we can just take them there, we can just call the doctor. So there. And then it's been a long time since Tambi and I had like, solo time with each other without the kids. And so after that, we just went for a little coffee breakfast date. So they're in a little like quaint little cafe near the riverside. They really have good coffee. I think it's called Chan's Coffee or Chan's Cafe. So if you happen to be in Windsor, they really have high rating in Google Maps, and that's why I said let's go there. But yeah, the coffee was really nice, really good. It has a unique taste, but I think it's Arabian coffee. But you know what? I saw a massive, like a coffee roaster machine. So I think they roast their own coffee, which is really incredible, right? And I guess that's why they have a unique coffee taste. The coffee tastes different, but it's really good. It's really good. You can just try it out if you happen to be in the area. So yeah, so going back there. So this is our topic for tonight. Life before the shift, juggling career and family. And again, I just wanna I think I wanna resonate to, or I want burnout moms, busy moms like me, resonate to this because you know, we as moms, we really tend to forget about our own dreams, our own hopes, our own aspirations. When we become a mom, the priority is either, the kids, or, the family bonding, or, our relationship with our kids. And you might not you might not have questioned yourself, right? What do you want? Like, what about you? What do you want as a mom, or, just being yourself as yourself, right? And that's why I want to talk about this a lot, because I don't know, sometimes we feel that this is not um talked about that much, and we really need to, because it's not just us feeling, okay or well when we talk about these things. It's also about taking care of our mental health as moms who are taking care of our kids, right? So yeah, so just the first point here is that I had a hard time before balancing work and family life. And as I mentioned before, I didn't really stop working because I knew that one paycheck will not survive. We will not survive with just one paycheck, and we will not be able to do, you know, some things that we wanted, the traveling, exploring, treating the kids outside, like, occasional dine outs and things like that. We will not be able to do that if we only have one paycheck back in the Philippines, right? So it was difficult. It was difficult for me, but again, we couldn't do with just one paycheck. And so I had to really, put in longer hours at work, be a dedicated, hardworking corporate person, corporate employee, just to, get a good paycheck, get a good performance review, so that I could have a good increase. And back then, as I said, we were trading time for money, because we're juggling, between the family life, having kids, and on the other hand, we have these full-time jobs, long commutes, and also thinking about a lot of family responsibilities, right? And I think during those times, a lot of my colleagues, bosses didn't really understand the situation, the situation that I had back then, because again, you know, if you see my colleagues, they're in their 20s, they're very young, and they're single. Most of them are. And I'm there, working my ass off, because I already have a kid to take care of, and I know that even if I say that this is a situation, I know that they don't really understand how it really feels like, because we have different situations back then. So I wanted to show you something, actually, which is a proof of that, hardship in struggling to have that balance. Hold on, let me see, where is it? Hold it. Okay. This is exciting. Okay, can you see that? I hope you're seeing that. So that is actually a photo I took. I can clearly remember this day. So the situation was I'm coming from Sucat, Parañaque City. I lived in Metro Manila during this time. I think this is sometime around 2016 or 17, I guess. And I take the bus to commute from Sucat, Parañaque to Quezon City, Ortigas in EDSA. So that's the location of my office, which is roughly more or less 20 kilometers, but it takes 2 to 3 hours to go one way. One way, okay? So this location is the Makati area, which is well, this I guess the second biggest um, corporate hub or location for offices that I'm gonna go through from that point in Sucat up to the point in Quezon City, because the first one is the South Luzon Expressway, which is BGC is there, right? And then this is along EDSA, which is the busiest road in the in the Philippines, in Metro Manila. Okay, and I left. I always leave the house because I'm in mid shift during that time, and my shift starts at around 3 p.m. 2 or 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I leave the house at 12. But before leaving the house, I make sure that I already cooked lunch for the kids, okay, for the people who are staying at home. So, and then I would leave at around 12 or 1, and then I would ride the bus and sit there for a very, very long time. So, this was, I couldn't forget this because it's already, so I left at around 12:30 to 1 p.m. And again, if my shift starts at 3 and it's already 2:30, I'm not yet halfway through that EDSA road, going to the office. It's already 2:30 and I said, "Oh my gosh, this won't do." Because I know that from this point on up to there in Ortigas, this is going to be the same traffic. So I just went down the bus. I just went off the bus. I crossed the street. So I took this picture and I said, I'm going to go home. I can't take this anymore. So that's what happened. And it was really, I mean, it's so time consuming, commuting. And I always say that I commute for like 3 to 5 hours in a day, in a day for 5 days in a week. So that's what's happening. So you can relate. If you're a Filipino working in these biggest hubs, corporate hubs in Metro Manila. So that's the situation back then. Almost every day I get in the bus and that's what's happening. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I had that difficulty or struggle in balancing work and family life. And I always, every time I leave the house, I always feel torn between choosing my career over, staying at home. So that's it. But of course, again, one paycheck won't do. We have a rising cost of living. And in the Philippines, you are, even if you work so hard and you get a raise, your bills are also increasing because again, If you are a new family, you would want to have your own home. You want to buy your own house or your own space. You want to buy your car just so you won't commute like that. you know, you have your own car. And there are a lot of things that you really have to pay for: the tuition fee of the kids, everyday expenses like your transportation, your food when you go out or when you're working out, um, and bills, utilities, and if you're living in a condo like us, you have this association fees as well. There's a lot. There's a lot. And for the longest time, then I really felt that I was stuck. So that was the situation. And it's very easy to feel burnt out. It's very, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally, because you want to provide, you want to provide more and better, give your kids better choices, better opportunities. You want their childhood to be something that they can really remember or enjoy with these experiences that you can give them. But really, that entails a lot of money, and so you really experience that burnout, that mental load that's difficult to get over with, you know most times. And then also, trying to juggle all of these things, we also feel um that we don't have enough time for self-care, right? For our own me time. It's because we always try to prioritize as moms, the time with the kids, or you know um kids first, and also you want to prioritize the family bonding time first. But that's different from having your own real self-care, or me time, or self-care routine, right? So it's kind of sacrificing as well your own self-care routine just for the family to have a bonding time. Yeah. So, and also, when you are a career mom, when you're employed, it's also easy to feel stuck, because again, if you always have um that the not having that balance between work and family life, and then when you have a growing family, you always take maternity leaves, of course, right? When you go back when you go back in your work, you just find out that they have this you find out that they have this performance review, and they don't really give you a good score for that because you were mostly on maternity leave, or you were on leave. You're not technically at work, you know what I mean? So it's really very demotivating sometimes, and you get stuck in that kind of situation. I mean, it's really difficult to get back up and find your momentum again, and to perform again in your work when you always have these stuff going on in your family life as well. So, you know what? I also experienced that maybe once or twice. Not getting the performance rating that I was expecting, even though I worked so hard before going on maternity leave and probably after maternity leave. But then they still give me a low score just because I was mostly on leave. So that's also one of the situations back then. Oh, that was so hard. And then, of course, as moms, we always feel the pressure to do everything, right? um it's not that we can't, but I guess, or we can or we can't, but I guess it's more of, that's the default as parents, as mothers, right? So sometimes you can't hold it. You just really wanted to do it that way. But of course, right now in this day and age, we know that there is, or there are other ways to do it, to do mothering, to be a mother, more ways of how we can really try to balance these things, all of these things. So I totally understand that, when you are tired, you're feeling stuck, um you are exhausted of trying to balance your career and family time. I totally understand when you say, I don't have time for this, or maybe I don't have time for a business, or I don't have time for a side hustle or another job, you know, because I can understand the exhaustion, the tiredness, the lack of time, and but the thing is, when do you really stop, sacrificing yourself or your own time for all of these things, right? When do you really, I mean, how long will you be able to do it? So for me, as I've shown you that photo earlier, um, I guess I realized early on that there are really other ways to earn money without sacrificing, my own mental, emotional, physical health. Because again, during those times, I was very sickly. I was so exhausted, I was so stressed out, I was very sickly. And I realized that you cannot really be rich or wealthy if you just have one job, if you're relying on just one paycheck. And I'm really glad that I have realized that early in my life. I mean, actually, it's not very early because I wasn't in my 20s. Because when I was in my 20s, I am just, exhausted, stressed out with all of these things. But I realized it when I stepped in my 30s. I realized that my strength, um my health is deteriorating. And so I need to do something to change, So even then, I was looking for other ways where I could have more um, income for the household, so that we can at least, try to give more time eventually for our kids, rather than just focusing and burying our heads to work. So now I'm really very glad that we are, little by little, achieving that kind of work life balance. And I am very I am very positive that we are going to be able to get that in a year or two. Seeing that what we have right now, this online business that we have, is really a good way, a vehicle to get there. That's our ultimate goal. So if you are also interested, if you've experienced all of those things as well, being a mom, being so busy, sacrificing your own mental, emotional, physical health over concentrating, focusing on your work, because you don't have enough to pay the bills, to manage all the expenses. maybe, maybe this is going to be very life changing for you. And I say this because it has been life changing for a lot of people, thousands of people all around the world already. And they've been here, where we are right now, the struggles. They're also moms like us. They're everyday ordinary people like us, but they've already achieved massive success in this online business, and we know that we already have a roadmap to follow. So if you are also interested to check out our online business, just register for our free info session in my website. It's aryangale.com. Enter your full name and email address, and I will send you more information about it. I'll send you the link to our next live info session. We hold live info session every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, or Toronto time. And if ever you can't watch it live, we will send you a link to the replay as well. But if you can't wait to watch the latest webinars, you can, once you register in my website, in the next page, the thank you page, you can see there a replay of the latest webinar as well. So you can readily watch that and then just, message me if you have questions, clarifications about the business. Or maybe you can just comment down below if you have questions. I'll be happy to assist you to answer all your questions, because I do understand that, we can be skeptical, we can be curious, because that's what I felt too when I first found out about this online business. And I haven't looked back since. Yeah, so I guess that's it from me tonight. And again, happy Friday, happy weekend. I hope you're going to have a great weekend with your family, whatever activities you're going to do for the weekend. Us, I guess we're just going to stay at home. Oh no, I think it's going to be Costco day too. So we don't really shop on Costco that much anymore. Compared to last year or the previous years, because we're living in a different home, right? But now that we're just ourselves, like just the four of us, I think we're just gonna have like one or two Costco visits just to replenish the supplies in bulk. But other than that, we do our groceries every week just to buy, meat, fresh produce, things like that. So we don't really buy too much of um, the stuff in bulk, like, skincare or shampoo, conditioner, things like that, the usual hygiene products. So yeah, that's it from me today. And again, enjoy your weekend. See you again tomorrow in my next live. Bye for now.